I start, I would like to ask Matt a question. Remember that one plaque we made?
Yeah.
That's why we don't make plaques no more. Dave got a call from the camp director on that one.
Apparently that one was moved rather quickly.
And I am a big fan of Matt Urum's work because those ventilation holes saved my life from suffocating in the collapsed remain of that tent. But it's time to roast Dave tonight. And when I started thinking about what I wanted to talk about for Dave, I said, I gotta try to think of the first real memory I have of Dave. So I thought far back, and I don't even know if Dave remembers it, but it was the first ever NAAD that we went to as a troop. And me and Dave bonded. We were playing my favorite childhood game, Annoy the Grown-Ups. Not as fond of the game now. But nevertheless, Dave and I decided to play. And by that I mean Dave was engaged in a conversation minding his own business, and I decided we were playing a game. The game was simple. All I had to do was, while he was in talking, is run up behind him and poke him in the back of the head and run off. 1 point. And then I ran back and did it again, 2 points. Dave had game, though. He never budged. He wouldn't even look at me. Not about to acknowledge my behavior. It's all part of the game. I'm up to 4 points now. I'm getting ready for the 5th point, or as I like to call it, game point. As I'm running behind Dave, he does this little back leg lift thing and trips me. Face first into asphalt.
1 point, Dave, right?
After Dave did his 5-point finishing face first flying move. That's hard to say, that's a tongue twister. Face flying, Dave did what any grown-up person would do, preparing their defense for the child abuse case. He turned around and he went, didn't even see you there. You gotta be more careful when you're running. That's a hard lesson to learn, right? Don't learn it again. I knew then we would be friends. But Dave is not like any normal person. But I don't need to tell you that. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. When a normal person says, no problem, it's in my vehicle, they mean just that, no problem, it's in the vehicle. When Dave says, no problem, it's in the vehicle, he's lying. I'm at the point now when if I want something and Dave says it's in his vehicle, I say, you know what? When you clean the vehicle out, wrap it up, give it to me for Christmas, I promise I'll be surprised. True story. Many years ago, a scout wandered off and got lost in the back of Dave's truck. For 6 months, he was able to survive on half-eaten sandwiches and flattened Diet Coke. After climbing the mountain of empty CD cases and crossing the ravine of lost patches, he was finally able to scribble out through a lot of words here. He was finally able to squeeze out between a sleeping bag and a pile of blueprints before being rescued by the Red Cross. He immediately earned his Wilderness Survival Merit Badge. But I make fun of Dave, but he's been there for so many of my firsts. He was there for my first merit badges, my first 50-miler, my first aid, my first class, and my first time in a dress. It wasn't Dave's first time in a dress, but he's been in scouting longer. I did recently find out how Dave ended up Scoutmaster. Like any other scouter, he was suckered into it. He basically was asked to go on a camping trip where somebody pulled the same trick he did on Clint, where he went to the camping trip and they signed him up as assistant Scoutmaster, and he basically went home, and then about 6 months later or so, the Scoutmaster resigned, and they looked at the troop records and went, Dave reluctantly accepted the position on a temporary basis. The committee was supposed to find a replacement. How they doing? They're gone. I think they've moved moved into old business. Really, really old business. But I would like to now ask the ultimate question. The ultimate truth, the ultimate question. And people have asked it from time to time, but no one's really gotten a straight answer on it, so I'm going to answer it for you guys tonight. And the question is, why? Very simple question, why? And the answer, of course, is purple.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Everybody else is going, what?
Those of you who don't know, Dave likes to answer questions with the word purple, so we're going to answer it Dave's way tonight. And since everyone's got a commando story, I think I should close with one. It just seems appropriate. This was actually a pretty recent game. This, goes back to, me and Dave worked together a while at this point. I was an adult when this happened. Basically, we were playing a game of Commandos, and I could tell somebody was there, but I didn't know who. And I couldn't see anything, so I started patting around randomly. I caught a leg. And then as soon as I caught a leg, I got this from out of nowhere, just like that. Now, a younger scout, or even me in my younger scouting days, would have booked it out of there. But this is older scout Jed. I'm used to him. I just poked him in the eye. I said, "You're too big to be a cat. Now stop licking yourself."